Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us for Drive Leader training today with Family Giving Tree. I'm just going to give a few more moments for people to join. In the meantime, if you don't mind, I would love to know who's out there. So if you'd like to utilize the chat and set it to everyone to introduce yourself, who you are, what company or organization you're with, and maybe a highlight of your week. What's gone well this week so far? I'd love to hear the positive stuff. So let's get to using the chat as a normal thing for us here in today's webinar, because I definitely want folks to have an opportunity to connect and interact with each other. All right. So yes, please go ahead and utilize the chat. Introduce yourself. I want to know who's there. My name is Evelyn Nguyen. I am the Partner Relations Manager here at Family Giving Tree. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And today with me, we also have Carmen, who is joining us in Shannon's place to talk about volunteering opportunities. So Shannon, Shannon's substitute Carmen is here and she's going to rock it. So we're going to go through a bunch of the Drive Leader goodness and then dive into the volunteer stuff. Okay, so just for your awareness, we are recording today's session, so it will be available for you to watch again later, or if you ended up missing it and you're watching it again later, hi, welcome. You missed a great session, but here's all the information. So let's dive right in. All right. I'm so excited there's so many people here. We've got some new Drive Leaders and some returning Drive Leaders who are joining us. So those who are coming back to us, if at any point you want to share your own tips and tricks as we're going through things, please feel free to share with everybody. Make it a community of knowledge sharing that we've got going on today. All right. So who's excited for 2024 back to school? I am. We're stoked. We are kicking off this year very, very strong. We've got a great team ahead with us, and we've got a great group of Drive Leaders who have joined us. And we want to make sure that you have everything that you need in order to lead a successful back to school drive. So today, during our training, what we're going to cover is, I'm going to first give you a grand overview of what Family Giving Tree is all about and what the back to school drive is all about. And then we're going to dive right in and talk about the physical donation drive and, sort of what that entails, what you get, what to expect, some best practices, and then dive into our online drives. And then we will pass it over to Carmen to talk about volunteering. And then we'll talk about the timeline and how everything's kind of going to unfold in the next couple of months, and then answer any questions that you might have at the end. And if you do have questions that come in to your mind, please feel free to hang on to it until the end, if possible, just in case we cover it throughout the webinar at some point. If you feel compelled to put it in the chat anyway during the presentation, totally fine. I will do my best, and Carmen will do her best to help answer your questions. But just know it might get covered during the training. Okay, so let's dive right in. And if you haven't already introduced yourself, please don't be shy. Please feel free to throw it in there. What is that highlight you've had for the week? I actually want to know. Okay, so first things first, to give you a quick overview about Family Giving Tree, we are actually 34 years old, and we are a Bay Area based organization. Our home office is currently actually in Milpitas, and we operate a warehouse out of the South Bay. We run two main drives each year. We do a back to school drive during the summer, which is what you are all here today to get kicked off on, and then a holiday wish drive during the winter time. This is going to be our 29th back to school drive. So been at this for a while. We've been improving our processes here and there. For 29 years, we've had a chance to really work on improving things and making things better and enjoyable for everybody. And so we're very proud of that work. Like I mentioned earlier, we do operate out of Milpitas office. We're in the Sobrato Center in Milpitas. So if you're at a point where you have to come and pay us a visit to maybe pick up materials or just want to drop off some goodies, because we're all foodies here, we'll happily take it. We are located in Milpitas. We do work out of a donated South Bay warehouse. We are not able to disclose the actual address of that warehouse at this time because we're working on finalizing contracts, but historically speaking, we have worked out of Sunnyvale for the past few years. So I'm just gonna put that right there for you. In addition to that, when it comes time to drop off physical donations, we do also have single day remote locations. So we work with agencies and companies who have partnered with us to donate their space for single days for us to be able to collect the donations from you in an area that is more convenient to your location. So we've got San Francisco, Palo Alto, and Castro Valley as our one-day single remote locations. Our mission at Family Giving Tree is connecting those who can give to those in need with educational support, gifts, and volunteerism. And our vision here at Family Giving Tree is that we envision a world where giving brings joy, offers hope, and creates learning possibilities. We came up with that ourselves several years ago and are very, very proud of that and really try to live and breathe the mission and vision that we have set forth. So it truly does mean something deep to us, and we hope that it connects with you as well. To give you the brief overview, we work with community groups, with Rotary clubs, PTA groups. We have all kinds of folks that are in the community who will connect with us in order to get necessary donations of back to school supplies and backpacks and gifts out to our community each year. And our goal for back to school this year is to support 30,000 students across 11 counties in the Bay Area. And that's just for the summer going into the fall for the upcoming school season or upcoming school year, I guess you would call it. Like I mentioned, it's across 11 Bay Area counties. And in order to get that done, we've got about 350 drive leaders, all of you folks, that we've got to get signed up and equipped with everything you need in order to run a successful drive. And like I mentioned earlier, there are folks that are on here from corporations, some folks who are actually, you know, family members that decided they want to run a drive with their families and friends. We've got church groups, community groups, anyone and everyone can be a drive leader, and it costs nothing. We have no minimums. We just want to be able to connect you to the community through the work that we do. So you are essentially our FGT ambassadors, and you're helping us connect to expand the community impact. So thank you for joining us to do that. We are better together, and that is our little logo that we've got for back to school this season, and you will see it here and there. It is also available for you to download if you want to include it, because it truly is a team effort. 30,000 students, that's no small feat, right? So it will take the effort of everybody here and then some in order to get that done. So just a brief overview in terms of like how you are able to lead a drive. Some of you, many of you already know, but you can sign up to lead a physical drive, which some of you have. And what that means is you will be going out to your groups and saying, hey, we want to donate backpacks and supplies, like actual backpacks and supplies. Go and take your kid to go shopping, or, you know, go out as a friend group and go to the store and pick up all of these supplies that are on these lists and bring them back to us, and we'll deliver them to Family Giving Tree to give out to the students. You can also run an online drive. So for folks who maybe are not too keen about going shopping or just want to be able to hand their credit card over to someone, we will take the money. So you can fundraise online through your workplace giving platforms, and also have funding on the virtual giving tree, which is something that you were able to sign up with at the time you registered. It's not an either or situation. You really can run both if you want, because this ultimately will maximize the opportunity for your donors to be able to participate in your community impact efforts. So for those who maybe are from workplaces that have remote employees, the virtual giving tree or, promoting your workplace giving platform are very, very good solutions for them to still feel like they are a part of the back to school effort. And for those who want to be able to pick up a tag and go shopping and make it an experience, I personally love picking out pencil pouches and fun pencils and all of those fun supplies. It's a very satisfying thing for me to be able to shop for it and then not have to hang on to it. It just goes away. But it was fun that I got to design and pick it all out, right? So for those like me, the physical drive is a perfect solution. So let's dive into physical donations. So like I mentioned earlier, if you're running a physical drive and you're bringing in physical donations, you're essentially bringing in backpacks and supplies. We do have a large variety of supplies that we provide to you, materials in order for you to successfully kick off your drive. We have backpack tags that are for 3 different grade levels. So there are different supplies listed on each tag. And then on the back side of those tags, we have instructions for you to be able to follow in terms of like general guidelines about what you can and cannot do in terms of, maybe the colors of backpacks or things like how you get a donation receipt if you're supporting this in-kind with this in-kind donation. We also have a drive leader instruction packet for you. So we've got instructions that kind of walk you through end to end what you can expect from a standard drive. We've got guidelines that are available to you that you can share with your group about like what types of backpacks, what grade level. And then we also have posters available if you would like to hang posters up in your workplace or your community gathering areas. And if you think you might have folks who would want to write checks to donate or cash, we do have monetary donation envelopes available that you can request. If you didn't request for any of these things and you change your mind and decide, yeah, I want to get some, you can email us and we can get those out to you in one way or another, whether we send it to you or you come pick them up from us. But we do have all of these available. So, and then most importantly for us is the drop-off form, which is where you're going to summarize at the end of the drive everything that you all did, how many backpacks you were able to bring in, how many filled, how many empty, if you had extra supplies. That helps us with record keeping. And if you request for materials to be mailed to you, this will be included in that pack. If you are not a huge fan of printed materials or paper, or just would like additional resources, we do have what we call the Drive Leader Hub. And this is on our website. Right now, if you go to the main page of our website, you'll see a link at the top left corner that says Drive Leader Hub. And that is all for you, my friends, all for you. So you can visit that spot. Or you also have the link available in your registration confirmation email, which is also on this particular slide. And this has all of those printed materials that I just showed you in a digital format. So you can download, you can refer, you can mail things out to people via email or post to your social media. We've got a whole bunch of stuff on the Drive Leader Hub that will help you. Things like email templates, if you need help crafting language, or FAQs, if you have, random one-off questions that maybe you just think like, I know there have got to be other drive leaders that have asked this question. We'll check the FAQ. The answer might be in there. On this particular Drive Leader Hub, we also have the supply list, and this is actually a nice summary essentially of all of the different grade levels and all of the supplies that go into the backpacks, as well as the backpack requirement, because you do have to provide a backpack with the supplies if you're going to be providing a supply filled backpack, right? We also will take loose supplies as well. We want to make sure that this program is accessible to our donors. So if they maybe cannot afford to fill an entire backpack, but they'd rather be able to pick some supplies from this list to be able to shop from, the supply list is perfect for them. They can go grab this, pick out the supplies that they feel like they can afford, and drop them off with you, and you can drop them off with us, and we will organize, sort, and count them and use them. They will go out to the schools. There are a few things that are different in this year's supply list from what we did previous years, for those of you who are returning to us, and that is we've got new item quantities for some of these supplies. We've also updated the list to include some quality information about the quality of items that we're asking for, and then some brand new items. We surveyed our schools, and we do that on a regular occasion to make sure that we are actually providing relevant supplies for their students that they actually need. So some of the new items that we've decided to add into the backpack this year, based off of those survey results, is the BPA-free water bottle, toothpaste, and floss, because we include toothbrushes. We have included toothbrushes with all of our backpacks over the past few years in order to help support oral hygiene and health. So they're small asks, but they really do make a difference for a person who maybe needs to divert their funds elsewhere and not have to worry about dental hygiene. It's kind of one of those things you don't really think about, right? But you're supposed to change out your toothbrush every 3 months. And I don't know if you all do that. I do. I try to be really diligent, but that sometimes is something that is just overlooked. And so we want to be able to provide that opportunity. It's a small little bit of support that we can provide, and we want to be able to do it. Okay, so going back to physical donations, particularly when I mentioned earlier about the specific guidelines, we do want to make sure we're providing quality items to the students. And so the backpack guidelines and our new supply list guidelines are available for you on the Drive Leader Hub. And they help identify for you, if you're shopping for a particular grade level, like what kind of a backpack should you be getting? And at minimum, all of the backpacks across all grade levels, we are asking for you to purchase padded backpacks, not those lighter built backpacks, because those fall apart immediately. Sometimes they don't even make it through the whole warehouse process. So padded backpacks are the preferred backpack. And then check the sizes. We do provide inches, like a minimum number of inches that the backpack should be in height, depending on the grade level. So definitely take a look at that. And then the backpack guidelines also kind of guide you in terms of like design. And if you are providing a backpack for, say, an older kid, they may not want a Cinderella backpack, right? So this guideline sheet helps you with that and helps others to be able to shop appropriately. Our supply list guideline is new for this year, and it pretty much goes through some highlights of the different supplies that go into the backpacks and give you a little bit more detail about what it is that we're looking for. On the backpack tags, it does say things like, you know, the quantity of a particular item. And this kind of goes into that too, but it goes even a little bit more in depth in terms of like, you know, the type of quality. And so if you want more guidance on the type of supplies that we are looking for, please refer to this. Again, it is in your Drive Leader Hub. Okay. We also provide collection boxes. So this is an optional thing. You don't have to request for a collection box, but it is a branded collection box. It has FGT on it. It's fun. It's colorful. It catches people's attention. So it's a really great branding thing. If you say have a lobby and you want to call attention to the fact that you are doing a back to school drive, to have those collection boxes. So you can use your own collection box. You can collect however it is that you want, but we do offer it as a tool for you to use. So these boxes are pickup only. They are 22 inches by 22 inches by 39.5 inches. I can fit maybe about 5 or 6 of them folded up in the back of my Prius, if that gives you context. So you don't need a giant pickup truck for them. They fold up pretty nicely and they're pretty compact. And if I can carry them, you're going to be okay. So if you do request for a collection box, it is not required, but we do ask for a donation if you are able to provide it. They do cost us $38 a box to get printed, so they're not cheap. But again, if you can afford it, we appreciate the donation, and the instructions on how to donate for your box are included in your confirmation email. So when it comes time to you being able to get your actual materials to kick off your physical donation drive, once you have registered, your materials are going to be ready for you to either get out in the mail to you or to pick up from our Milpitas office in about a week or even less of your registration date. So just keep that in mind. If you just registered yesterday, we may need until like tomorrow or the end of the week to get your packet ready, but you can reach out to us if you want to help us save on postage and you're on your way home and Milpitas is right there and you want to stop in. Let us know. We can schedule an appointment to make sure you can come and pick that stuff up. Reminder, collection boxes can only be picked up. We cannot mail those because they are too big to fit in a mailbox. And they are quite costly as it is. So having to pay for the cost of mailing is not feasible for us. So please definitely pick them up. If you decide to use your own collection vessel, that's perfectly fine. If you have already registered and you feel like, oh, I've run out of items, I run out of tags, I need more, we will provide you with additional materials. You just have to let us know. So just reach out to us and let us know, and we can coordinate and get those out to you, or you can come pick them up. And again, if you want to pick up anything from us at this time, we are at our Milpitas office, and the address to that is 606 Valley Way. And we will give you specific instructions on how to get there when you reach out to us in order to schedule your pickup. If you're not going to be picking anything up from us and you prefer for us to mail it to you, we do mail via USPS Priority. So it will get there to you sooner rather than later. If you provided us with a FedEx account number, we love that. Thank you for helping to cover the cost, and we will 100% use that, and we will send that out via FedEx. So USPS or FedEx if you give us your FedEx account. Some pro tips for you in terms of running a physical drive. If you are collecting from the list, share the tag images and the links and the supply list with your group. So you can email them out, you can print them and post them, just make them visible and easy to find. And folks can either download and print it themselves, or you can download and print yourselves. Just to answer a question that I saw in the chat, they do not have to fulfill every single item on the backpack or back to school shopping list, but we do ask that you provide as much as possible if you're providing a supply filled backpack. Again, we will take extra supplies, we will take empty backpacks, we'll take it all. But if your goal is to provide us with supply filled backpacks, we really are asking as much as you possibly can. There are times where people will definitely, have a hard time finding things. Like, I think historically, some folks have had a hard time finding flashcards, and that's totally okay. Which is why we welcome all the extra supplies from other people, because you all balance each other out, right? Folks who are bringing in bags of extra supplies help to fill the backpacks of those who maybe weren't able to fulfill a complete 100% of everything that was on their list. Oh, I love Carmen. Thank you so much for sharing that information. Okay, so if you have tags that you requested or that you downloaded, please place them in your lobby or in any area that is trafficked by your group. So if that's a cafeteria or a coffee bar or something, you want to make sure it's as visible as possible. Same with your posters. Put those posters out and proud and display them. Fill out those fields that are on the poster that tell them when the backpacks are due and where they need to drop off, and if they had questions, who they could contact, which would ideally be you as the drive leader. Same with the tags. Put your collection boxes in well-trafficked areas so people know where they can drop off all of those backpacks and the supplies. And as we head into the summer, those of you who are shopping fiends like myself are probably going to pay attention to things like coupon deals or discounts or sales. Don't be shy about sharing those deals with your group. Like, if you come across an ad for Target or Walmart or whoever that's maybe got, a steal of a deal on pencil pouches or whatever it may be, send a note out to your group, put it in your, your Slack channels or whatnot, just to let people know, like, hey, here's an opportunity for you to get a great deal and bring in your stuff to fill your backpack, right? So it keeps it top of mind for them, and you're helping them save money to maybe even bring more. Who knows, right? If you are putting your collection boxes or whatever collection vessels out in a public area where folks can see from the street, I do strongly recommend that you securely store those donations at the end of each day. We do not want anyone to see this mountain of goodness that are, you know, the backpacks and supplies, and suddenly decide they want to break in and take them. So please, please keep that in mind. If you can, you know, pull it in behind a desk, or, you know, put it into a closet at the end of the day, please consider doing that. And if you maybe don't have a meetup place where folks are coming into on a regular basis, but you still want to run a physical drive, consider scheduling meetups with other people. We've had drive leaders who during the pandemic were just scheduling meetups and Starbucks parking lots, and then just transferring their donations over from one trunk to the other. Get creative. It doesn't, we're open to however it is that you want to be able to facilitate the giving. So if you are comfortable doing that, feel free to do that. And something to keep in mind as a drive leader is that, you know, as we mentioned earlier, everything's better together, right? So make sure you're teaming up with other people. If you know people who've got large SUVs or trucks or anything like that, and you feel like, I could probably use their help when it comes time to dropping off donations, start exchanging those contacts right now. Don't feel like you have to do it alone. There are people who are more than willing to jump in and lend a hand. And it's actually kind of fun to be able to drop off and kind of unload and see how many backpacks you can actually fit in your car and what that looks like when it gets to our warehouse. It's a very cool experience. So consider bringing friends with you and making this a team effort. Something to note for the drop-offs, or a few things to note for the drop-offs. We do want to make sure that you come and sign up for an appointment. We will be sending out emails in the coming weeks with the specific information about each drop-off location and the days, and provide you with Sign Up Genius links for you to schedule an appointment. Before you come down to drop off your donations, as best as you can, please make sure you are counting your donations so we know what to expect, and emailing us the totals. We will provide you with the instructions, again, like I mentioned, when we send out the email. But we want to be able to get an idea of what to expect at our drop-offs in terms of volume, so we can staff accordingly and equip ourselves accordingly to receive you. And then it also helps us with record keeping. And if you have a scheduled appointment, please show up. If you aren't able to show up because something came up and you need to reschedule, feel free to reschedule. Reach out to us. It's better that we know that you connect with us. Send us a quick email, give us a quick call, whatever it is. Please, please, please show up to your appointment or reschedule for the sake of us being able to continue operations as smoothly as possible at our drop-off locations. If you are using your collection box, just note that you should be using those boxes to just collect. I don't recommend using those boxes to actually haul all of the backpacks and supplies, because those things can get really heavy, especially if you've got folks who are maybe just donating like extra notebooks or, you know, some of those more heavy items. That can really weigh the bottom of that box down and bust it open. So you're really only using that box to do the collection. But when you're ready to transport, I highly recommend maybe, you know, transferring that stuff into maybe a plastic bag or something to just contain it. You know, extra shipping boxes, whatever you've got, and to put them into your car and transport them. Don't use them to actually do the hauling because they may fail you. Again, don't do it alone. Recruit help. Your friends and your community and your colleagues are there, and they probably would love to be able to help you out. So don't be afraid to ask. The worst that can happen is that they say no or they ignore you, and you're no worse off than you were before you asked, right? One thing that I would love to highlight is if you are starting your drive early, or you feel like I'm going to get everything collected before the end of July, that standard deadline, and I want to just get it over to Family Giving Tree as soon as possible, we have an early drop-off option in the South Bay. So our South Bay warehouse, which, you know, location to be determined, but probably Sunnyvale somewhere, it's going to be July 17th. And that will be included in the link when you go to sign up for your appointments for drop-off. So just note that if you want to be an early bird, we will take those early donations, because we do have schools that will start picking up that very following week. So we're going to need supplies and backpacks in the warehouse as soon as possible. So help us help you to help us. Okay, let's move on to online donations. So fundraising online, collecting donations online is essentially contactless giving. So this is a perfect solution for folks who are working remotely. Maybe they're out of the area and they still want to be a part of the back to school efforts. Maybe they don't go to an office. Maybe you don't have an office. They can make an impact online. And there are many ways to do that. We do connect with many workplace giving platforms. So if your company works with, say, Benevity or CyberGrants or Bright Funds, we have received donations through all of those platforms. And so definitely consider encouraging your folks to go and put in their donations there and providing their matches. If you do like matching for donations or even volunteer matching, remind them that that is a thing. If you don't have any of those, we do have the virtual giving tree that is available for you to sign up for. If you have already signed up for it when you registered, great. You should have already gotten your email to set it up and it's ready to go. Once you get your setup email, you can send it out, you can customize it if you want, but it's ready to take funds. So if you did not sign up for a virtual giving tree and you would like to, you still can do that. So just reach out to us. If you've never run a virtual giving tree before, or you just need a refresher, we do offer a training tutorial video. We do want to make sure that you are well equipped with the information you need in order to be successful. And so we've gone through and in this tutorial video, giving you a walkthrough about how you can customize things. And you can customize things in the virtual giving tree. So in this particular slide, you could see you can customize your logo, you can customize the write-up. If you want to be able to set a goal for yourself, for your group in order to achieve, you can do that, either a monetary goal or a student-supported goal, whatever that case may be. That is all possible with the virtual giving tree. It is exciting stuff. And we've worked really, really hard to make improvements in it. Season after season, we take a look at your feedback and we incorporate improvements in order to make the experience smoother and better for you and for your donors. Some pro tips for you about running your VGT. Like I mentioned earlier, consider setting goals. It's easier to kind of drive people towards working towards something if you've got a benchmark for them, right? So just think about it. And if you set a goal and it's maybe, if you hit it within like the first day or two, you can consider, extending it to a stretch goal. You can edit that goal at any time, up or down. So let's say you shot for the moon and it was a little too high. Well, you could scale that back at any time you want. You do have access to the admin portal of your virtual giving tree to make those changes. Be sure to share your progress with people. People want to know how you're doing with your drive. And it's helpful to be able to, if you want to take a screenshot of your front page of your virtual giving tree, it's got the charts on it. And you can tell people, look, we're 50% to goal. We're almost there. And we've still got, a few weeks left. So that is a really great opportunity to be able to walk people through that. Make sure you're checking your stats and updating your goals on a regular basis. So like if you've already exceeded your goal for the drive and you still have a few weeks that you want to run it, go in there and extend it so that people can see like there's still an opportunity to be able to elevate your game, right? So do pay attention to that. If you are a group that happens to be driven by some friendly competition, maybe ignite those teams to participate and partake in a friendly competition. If you say maybe have different department heads who tend to be a little bit more competitive, well, that is a perfect opportunity for some executive sponsorship to say, listen, sales team is going to beat those numbers. Let's see what ops can do, right? So help encourage that competitive spirit to drive that activity forward, because ultimately it's for a good cause. You are providing support for 30,000 students. And so a friendly competition never hurt anybody because it's all going back to the kids. It's a good thing. Definitely consider also sharing your stories and images, right? If you maybe are hosting an event to collect your donations, or maybe you've got a fun box that you decorated for, collecting your backpacks and supplies, or maybe if you've gotten an executive who blew a goal right out the door, within the first week or something, share those stories, share those images. If you need some support in sharing stories and images, we actually have a couple of images from our students from previous years that you are able to put out there. We do have social graphics. We have all kinds of material in the Drive Leader Hub that you can tap into to help elevate your storytelling. And make sure that if you're running your online donation platform, that you are connecting with your group often, just to remind them that this is still a thing that's happening this summer, and you still have time to participate. So again, we have email templates that help walk you through the different parts of the timeline throughout your drive, so you can copy and paste that and cater that message to your own liking. And remember, together, everyone achieves more. It's a good message, right? I learned this heart. This is like a little heart for you all. Okay, so again, online donation support. Again, the Drive Leader Hub has all of those things. We've got those graphics. We've got logos if you wanted to download and maybe put together a little co-branded presentation or something. Go to town, download it, and do what you will with it. Don't alter our logo images, but you can put things alongside your own. That's perfectly fine. If you need anything that maybe isn't on the Drive Leader Hub, then please feel free to reach out to us and we'll see what we can do to provide you with what you need. As far as communication schedule goes for being able to run your drive, we have laid out sort of the suggested timeline for you to communicate with your group. So we've got like a campaign launch, first week progress, how'd you do after your first week of launch, a mid-campaign check-in, and then, a week before your back to school drive is about to end, being able to send out an email to folks. And then at the very, very end, once you've closed everything out, and you can celebrate, because we all want to be able to celebrate, to provide an end of campaign recap. And we will also send you information about how we did overall as a Family Giving Tree, and in terms of like meeting our larger goals, so that you can pass that back along to your groups as well in your company, so they can really understand what that impact is. If you have any questions at any point about online, your virtual giving tree specifically, we do have a virtual giving tree support team. And you can use this email to reach out to us at any point if you have questions. On your virtual giving tree, there's also a little red feedback module. So if you've got a technical issue, if you've got a donor who maybe is like confused or, has any issues with it at all, they can submit feedback through that form, and that is actually the preferred method. But if you've got questions or something that maybe isn't platform specific or whatnot, but is VGT specific, reach out to us. We'll redirect you as needed or help answer your question right then and there. And we love hearing from you. So, tell us if things are going well. We want to hear that too. Okay, so that's enough for me about the online and the physical. I would like to now pass things over to Carmen to talk about volunteering as a drive leader. So Carmen, take it away.
Well, thank you very much, Evelyn. Who's excited to volunteer in the warehouse? Woo, volunteering. So the photos that you're looking at right now are actually volunteers from the San Jose Alumni Club of Pi Beta Phi on the left, and our volunteer coordinator, Shannon, on the right, with some longtime volunteers that we refer to as Angel Elves. So we are going to dive in a little bit more about volunteering. Drive leaders get special perks. So for being a drive leader, you do get priority access, and you also get 10 slots that you're able to sign up for instead of just 5 slots that you're able to sign up for. So there's all these perks to wanting to volunteer. You also gain access to a special priority page with more options than the rest of the community volunteers. The page is live already, and you should have received an email from us on May 29th, which included a link and the special password to access those shifts. If you didn't, please reach out to us and let us know. But there are still lots of options, so you are still able to sign up. Some things to just keep in mind is volunteers of all ages are welcome, and those under 16 will need adult supervision. So if you do have anybody under 16 in your volunteering group, just making sure you have the appropriate amount of adults coming with you as well. We have 2-hour shifts, which will be available beginning July 8th to August 14th, and typically Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. If you also wanted to get involved and volunteer from the comfort of your own home, we do need help preparing drive materials, the tags that Evelyn showed you. So feel free to reach out to us and we can get you set up with that as well. So, what's new with volunteering? So, we do ask that you have the information for your group entered within 2 weeks before the shift, because otherwise we will release those shifts to other people. We want to make sure that we have the right amount of people scheduled for your house and that people are showing up. We unfortunately have had some relatively kind of high no-show rate. So we want to make sure that we're just scheduling appropriately and that people are coming to the shifts that they say they're going to come to, or that we coordinate in case that you aren't able to make it to that shift anymore. You will get multiple reminders from us though, so don't worry. In case you forget, you'll get multiple reminders from us. Thing to keep in mind is that you do qualify for earlier registration. So if you're going to be coming back next year, which we hope everybody does, if you have high shift attendance rates for this year, then that will positively impact you for signups next year. And the same way we kind of took that into consideration when we had when we were considering allowing early registration. My apologies. So new drive leaders, if you need help getting situated with the volunteer process, please don't hesitate to ask questions, reach out. I know that it can be a lot to learn, but we are here to help and make your life so much easier. So please feel free to reach out to us with any questions that you may have as it relates to volunteering. So I'm excited to see you in the warehouse. This will be my first back to school drive. So I'm excited to get to know so many new faces and so many of our lovely drive leaders. But like I said, if you do have questions, please reach out to us at our volunteer email and we'd be happy to get you situated. And I'm going to go ahead and pass it back to Evelyn.
Yay, thank you so much. We will have the emails available on one of our last slides at the end, but I just also put it into the chat that if you do have questions or you have any sort of special accommodations that you might need, to reach out to Shannon. We limit it to 10 in terms of like volunteer slots because it is a very, very popular activity to come work in our warehouse. And so we have to make sure we can give an equitable opportunity for everybody to be able to sign up for that. So being able to accommodate larger groups might be a harder thing for us, just know that. And we do have a few evening shifts and I don't quite know what's available right now, but you can take a look at the signups and see what's there. And if there's something that our volunteer coordinator might be able to do for you, you can reach out and ask. But just know we have these sort of staggered priority registrations for our volunteers, for Drive Leader volunteers, because it is such a fun and popular activity for folks that they want to be able to sign up right away. And so usually when registration opens, the folks who've done it before will just jump right on it and reserve those slots right away. So it's something to keep in mind for the future, that you want to be able to reserve them sooner rather than later if you do need your full set of 10 slots for a particular day or time. Okay. Moving on from volunteering. Thank you very much, Carmen. You did a wonderful job. And we're looking forward to all the people coming through the warehouse that happen to be drive leaders, right? Okay, so let's talk about timeline. When does what happen? We keep talking about back to school, summer, the next few months. Well, what does that actually look like? So right now, the virtual giving trees are live. So if you've already registered and you registered, before yesterday, you should already have gotten your link for the virtual giving tree if you signed up for one. If you didn't, check your spam. If you still didn't, email our team and let us know, and we can make sure you are situated with your information, because sometimes those emails get filtered out and never even make it to your spam, which is really, really sad for us. But we will get you. We will hook you up. Just let us know. Right now, you do have access to sign up for the volunteer slots in our warehouse. Again, it's up to 10 slots. If you need to work out any sort of an arrangement or whatever, you can try to give it a try and reach out to Shannon. Right now, we have all of the physical materials available. So they are being mailed out or getting picked up by drive leaders as we speak. So if you do at any point need additional materials, like I mentioned earlier, reach out to us and let us know. We will get those in your hands as soon as possible so you can get to giving. Between July 8th and August 14th, that's when our warehouse is going to be open for volunteering. So that's pretty much the giant window of time when the volunteer slots are going to be open for people to sign up. Our early physical donation drop-off at our warehouse in the South Bay, again, it's July 17th, and that will be the full day. So it'll be like from 10:30 to 5. That will go out in an email to you for you to be able to sign up for an appointment, along with the actual main drop-off week, which is going to be from July 23rd through the 25th. And this is going to be from our main warehouse, as well as our single day remote locations. And pay attention to those dates and locations, because if you go to the wrong location on the wrong day, we won't be there. So please, please, please read your email. This is also going to be the week when schools begin picking up their backpacks, which is why we've got the early drop-off option for folks, so we can start getting more backpacks in. And then at the end of the timeline, September 5th, that is going to be at 9 p.m. That's going to be when the virtual giving trees all close. So that's not to say you have to run your virtual giving tree for that entire duration. If you decide, I want to cut off my back to school drive at the end of August or something, you're absolutely welcome to do that. And you can do it through your marketing message to your group. But just know that your site is still going to continue to be able to take donations up until September 5th, because they're all kind of interconnected in this sort of master network of virtual giving trees. So just for your awareness, you have until September 5th at 9 p.m. in order to collect all of those donations to help 30,000 students. All right. I think that's it. If you have questions, if you have Drive Leader questions, please email driveleaders@fgt.org. If you've got volunteer questions, volunteers@fgt.org, and we will be happy to help you. We want to help you. We're very excited to work with you this summer and hopefully beyond. So jot down those emails. You should already have our contact information somewhere because you've already signed up to work with us as a Drive Leader, and I have already thrown plenty of things at you. I know this. So I really, really appreciate you and your time. We appreciate you and all the work that you're putting forth. And thank you. Thank you very, very much for joining us. And we really hope you have a great back to school drive season.